Tim Winton is a dreamer and a drifter. He dreams up stories and drifts between reality and make-believe. He lives in one of the most isolated, most spectacular parts of Australia, and he's one of this country's most promising young writers. Not that he's got author written all over him. He's your shorts and thongs type of man, and he writes about real Australia, real Australians. And that applies to his books for children as well as the ones for adults. His 10th book, a gem called Cloudstreet, is in the running for the Booker Prize, the Academy Award of fiction writing.
The people of Bugalugs were a bit proud. They were nice folks, but just a teeny bit vain.
Tim Winton writes for all ages about all things. Not even bottoms are left untouched.
There's his mum and dad eating breakfast under the table because they're... You ever tried sitting on a chair without a bum?
It's a cheeky tale for little kids. The big one enjoys it too.
Every morning before the sun came up over the dunes, crayfish were pulled up from the traps, still munching, and they went sent all over the world so other people could munch on them.
This is Tim Winton territory, at the very edge of the continent, north of Perth, west of everywhere.
I'm here because it's a good place for children, and I'm here because I love being near the sea, and I like to be left alone a little bit, to live a normal life, you know, and that's good for all of us.
Is your family the most important thing in your life? More important than your work, more important than yourself?
Yes, I think so, because let's face it, if the Louvre was burning down in Paris, and there's a child in there about to be burnt, and there's the Mona Lisa about to be burnt, the Mona Lisa can cook, you know. That's the way I feel about art.
He's only 31, but Tim Winton's family is already substantial. There's 7-year-old Jessie and brother Harry, aged 2. Baby daughter Alice and Tim's wife Denise. Truly his childhood sweetheart.
No, we were engaged at 9, but that was just a one-off. Then he left me and went to Albany.
You were engaged at 9. Did he give you a ring, the whole works?
No, it's just one of those things in a haunted house that you say to somebody, I suppose.
Yeah, I said, you know, what about we get married? And she said, oh, all right. And years later, after we didn't know each other for a long time, she asked me out. She rang me up when we were about 18. She said, you want to go out? I said, oh, all right. A few years later, we got married.
Timmy's going to work now. See, Timmy? Kiss goodbye.
A happy start to an ordinary enough story. Family man struggles to pay mortgage. Which brings us to the extraordinary side of Tim Winton's life. The daily crossover from fact to fiction.
I mean, writing is hard in terms of making a living and also in terms of looking at yourself in the mirror in the morning and being happy about it. You're pulling a rabbit out of a hat all the time.
There's a lot of old-fashioned style in Tim Winton's work, from his terribly neat longhand to his stories of honest, working-class Aussies. Families which, like his own, have outside dunnies and pet chooks.
He wants to eat it. You want to leave him eat it? I think our accent is gorgeous, and I think that, you know, our colloquial words are terrific. I think they're poetic.
Do you like those words? Just as with undies and chooks?
Oh, I'm mad
and
about them. Love them, you know. I'm proud of them. I think they're terrific that we made up poetic words like that, you know. I think,
poetic?
Oh, I think...
Dunnies?
It's got a musical sound to me. Someone else the other day down on the jetty talking about a person who whined a lot. He said, oh, geez, mate, he could have whinged for Australia in the Olympics. Beautiful. I mean, I think it's terrific. I love it. It's ugly as sin, you know. Yeah, fish deco is probably the best way to describe the architecture.
Tim Winton wasn't born in this crayfishing town. He actually chose the place, even though he describes it as having all the spirituality of a Kendone tea towel. This, I tell you, is the main street.
Yeah, this is the drag. All the shops, the surf shop, the hamburger joint, the butchers, the deli, the whole routine.
Any bookshops?
No bookshops, emphatically no bookshops. When we moved here, the real estate agent said to me, he said, "What do you do for a crust?" And I said, I write books. And he said, "Oh, good, mate, no one reads books up here." I said, "I'll buy it."
Fame came young to Tim Winton. By 21, he'd written his first book and won his first major prize. And though there have been lots more, an astonishing 10 books over the past 10 years, he's never escaped the tag child prodigy, the eternally promising young writer.
Being eternally promising is annoying, but it's a better alternative to being hopeless.
Do you think you're old enough not to be a young author now, at 31?
Oh, no. I know writers who are in their 40s, late 40s, who are still, seen as young writers.
Tim's parents, John and Bev, are the sort of people he writes about. A straight cop and a struggling mum, neither of whom even finished school. He's just as proud of them as they are of their writer son.
I'm not as good a parent as my father or my mother. I really don't have the commitment that they had. I mean, their commitment was not just 100%, it was 150%. Because, like I said, well, I'm going to be a writer, and Mum and Dad must have, kind of gone to bed and, in a sweat, thinking, oh, my God, what are we going to do about this? And I just blithely went along, and they supported me. They put their money and their emotion and their support, where my mouth was.
Their money put him through university. His mouth did the rest. Do you sometimes get confused between real characters and characters in your books?
I always thought I didn't, but not very long ago, somebody said something to me and I thought it sounded very familiar. I said, I knew somebody who said that once. They said, don't be a dick, it was in your book.
Do you think your dad's pretty well known around town, Jessie?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think he's famous? What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's good having a dad that's famous.
The fishermen of Buggerlugs, they went out to catch crayfish.
Not that Tim can claim all the credit for all his work. That Buggerlugs book had the stamp of another Winton, 7-year-old Jessie.
No, a cray will eat anything except football boots. No bums.
And was that your idea, bums being stolen? For cray bait?
No, it was Tim's idea for cray bait and mine was bums.
The collaboration continues. Like most writers, Tim Winton can't tell you where exactly his ideas come from, but it has a lot to do with simple moments like these.
I want to write things that make a difference to people's lives. I don't want to just entertain them, and I don't want to just show them how flashy I can write. It's about making a difference. It's about affecting people's lives, and that to me is better than a review this big in the New York Times.
In a literary sense, though, This is the wrong side of the continent.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? The readers
Always.
And the bookshops and the publishers are all on the East Coast.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you miss it sometimes?
I miss a good cup of coffee, I think. That's about all I miss. I can get
specifically any kind?
A short black, a very mean, dark, short Italian coffee. One that's, makes my plait stand up on end,
You can see why he wants to stay here. He can laugh at the town, but this island is just 10 minutes away. A particular favourite with the Winton boys. For Winton Senior, it's more than just a family excursion. The sea is his passion and a character in most of his books.
I guess that's what I've known about all my life. I grew up by the sea. All my major moments in life seems to have happened by the sea. I did a lot of growing up, on the beach. The beach was a good place to go to when you were feeling confused as a teenager, or if you were in love, it's the only place to go to.
4 years ago, Tim did leave his precious sea. He won a scholarship to Europe and packed up the family for his first trip abroad.
Bit of a problem. Your life will tell, we can live with that.
Oh, look.
Hydra. This is the taverna where we used to have our meals every night.
This is Tim Winton hard at work.
Oh, very hard at work, you know. It was...
Did you actually write there?
Yeah, I finished Cloudstreet there.
Did you get homesick?
Oh, we were always homesick. And I was probably the worst. I was absolutely prostrate with homesickness. You know? Yeah, in Greece I used to, you know, people would get off the tour boats and I'd listen to them, you know. Bob and Madge from, you know, Wollongong. I'd just listen to them. Oh, I think we'll go in here, Bob. Oh, this looks lovely. Oh, the food's a bit greasy, you know, that sort of stuff.
And you home, Australian.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded awful, but it sounded so beautiful, you know. That's where I wanted to be.
Tim returned from his trip with the completed manuscript of Cloudstreet in his suitcase. It became a bestseller, and next month he'll hear whether it's been shortlisted for literature's version of the Academy Awards, the Booker Prize. The razzmatazz is all starting.
Oh, dear.
Are you ready for what would happen if you did, well, one, get nominated, but two, let alone win the Booker? I mean, it's like the Oscars in literature.
Almost as corrupt, I'm sure. Prizes are just a big chook raffle, you know. The fair ones are a chook raffle, the corrupt ones are a chook raffle where someone's kind of slightly bent the tickets.
You mean it? You really don't care?
It's probably in career terms it's an achievement, but in real terms it doesn't mean beans.
What means beans to Tim Winton is all around him. Sure, success is nice, and what author wouldn't like to sell more books? But at heart, Tim Winton already is where he wants to be.
After having been told by people that I was essentially a European, you know, whether I liked it or not, Australians had only been here 200 years and we were Europeans. I get off the plane in Europe and instantly I knew I wasn't European. I knew that I was Australian, that I belonged here. I'm constantly reminded that I feel like if I stay away too long that I might wither up and die.
Hello, I'm Sarah Abo. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.